What is a cow's job? Produce a calf every year. What else? The way you can sort this out is you go look at the graduation records from the Harvard School of Business and Tufts University and any of those good business schools. You will never find a bovine or an ovine that graduated from a business management program. It is absolutely not the cow's job to make a profit. That is your job. All right, but what else might be in the cow's job description besides just having a calf every year? Harvest forage, somebody said. That's a good one. That should not be our job. That should be her job. Spread fertilizer. How about incorporate seed? Control weeds. Come to work with a positive attitude every day. Those are expectations of our employees. This is what I put down as just part of a cow's job description. Rustle her own grub. That is not your job. Find the best bite of feed that she can. Basically, every cow knows what she needs to know to be a cow. And one of the things she knows very well is how to find the best bite of feed in a pasture. Every day, that's what they're striving to do. She needs to deliver a live calf every 12 months. It should not be your job to deliver calves. What's an acceptable level of assisting on heifers? To me, it's 2%. One heifer in 50, I'll be willing to assist her. Beyond that, if any more heifers than that need assistance, I have made bad choices in who her boyfriend is and when I allowed them to go on their first date. Heifers should not need assistance. Cows absolutely should not. She needs to wean a healthy calf every year. She needs to stay healthy without a lot of fuss. She should be adapted to your environment and tolerate everything in that environment. This one here, stay in your herd for at least 10 years. I actually don't believe that anymore. Enjoy the weather where she lives. Come to work with a positive attitude, spread fertilizer, control weeds, all those things. Those are cows' jobs. So if all of those things are the cow's job, what is your job? Let's think about any business. In any business, what is the role of the manager? Is it to step in and do the employees' jobs for them? I don't think so. What's the manager's job as it relates to the employees? And what exactly does that mean? I would say create a working environment where your employees can thrive. Your role as a manager is to create a working environment where this cow can be the very best cow she can and accomplish her target achievement areas. It is not our job to do the employee's job. You're a poor manager if that's the way you operate your business. Interesting piece of trivia here. Based on actual producer records, Minnesota, Missouri, Mississippi, cow-calf producers feed the same amount of hay. Do they all have the same climate? No. Minnesota, they play hockey. They drink weak beer, and over half the population after every sentence says, hey, for all practical purposes, they're Canadians. If they're actually Canadians, they have the right to feed some hay because Canada is cold and snowy and all of those things. Yet I know producers in Minnesota who basically graze, most years graze year-round. Very minimal stored feed. Mississippi, down on the Gulf Coast, cold day in the winter is 55 degrees. All through, almost every day in the winter, something is growing in Mississippi. This is Iowa. I hope somebody remembers in the 1970s what was Vermeer's marketing slogan. The one-man hay system. We went from needing big families, hand labor. Yeah, we took the horse-drawn equipment and the stationary steam engines and stuff, but we got to this point where it became the one-man hay system. And it was very easy to make lots of hay. Now, let's think about the economics of that time. 1973, we got one of the first 605C balers in Illinois cost $4,200 in May. In July of 1973, there was another profound historic event that we established an all-time record high for fed cattle at 54 cents a hundredweight. This is when we had the housewife boycott of beef, the beef boycott, where normal, everyday American housewives picketed the IGA, the Kroger, the A&P stores, and said beef was too expensive to feed to our families. You remember that? Some of you are old enough to remember that. You know, we're not talking Vermont hippie chicks with frizzy hair. We're talking about normal American housewives protesting the price of beef being too high. In 2013, I like the 40-year comparison of 73 to 2013, because 73 is the year that I actually started seriously being involved with our operation. We hit this record high price last year. Now, you know, we broke $160 a hundredweight. But $148 for cattle. Vermeer 605M baler today, $40,000 plus or minus, depending on how well you know the dealer, what bells and whistles you get. All right, so records, prices. This is kind of a bad deal. The important stuff is at the bottom of this slide, not the top of this slide. So from 73 to 2013, the price of equipment increased 900 to 1,000%. Diesel fuel, 2,000%. Labor, basically 1,000%. The high price of fertilizer that we all complain about has actually increased less than most other things we work with, but 700%. In 1973, we were charging $6 a bale to roll up a big round bale. 2013 still typically running about $9 to $12. I did check the average custom rate for Iowa for 2013 yesterday morning. It was $12.60. So yeah, maybe I could have made that $9 to $15. That's just doubling in 40 years. The cost of custom baling hay has doubled. From $54 a hundredweight to $148 is a 275% increase. You know what the overall inflation rate in the general economy from 1973 to 2013 was? About 470%. Beef hasn't increased that much. Let's look at these things adjusted for inflation and what the price today should be if the only thing that was going on was just inflation. That big round baler should cost $22,000 now. Diesel fuel should be 89 cents a gallon, labor $7.87, fertilizer 47 cents. Your neighbor who's custom baling your hay should be charging you $31.50 a bale, and fed cattle should be $284 a hundredweight. In terms of actual inflation-adjusted dollars, beef today is 60% the cost of what it was in 1973. In terms of actual consumer buying power, beef is cheaper today than 73. What are they talking about? Because the price of beef is so high today, consumers are going to buy more chicken, eat more chicken. You'd make the same adjustment for chicken, and for every pound of beef that you could buy today, you buy less chicken than you did in 73. Relatively speaking, compared to beef, chicken is more expensive today, not cheaper than it was in 73. Funny how we've got all these things kind of twisted and screwed around, isn't it? There's some people who could actually make money if fed cattle were at $284 a hundredweight. There's still some people who would manage to lose money. But that's where our industry actually is today.